Good morning, family. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. And in a week where Sui surged over 80% off the back of the partnership rumors with Pokemon, which are pretty much confirmed, but there is a Sui base camp that this is happening on. So I'm going to give you my Sui strategy for the next few days and let you know why you don't need to FOMO and always take a long-term view of these things. By the time the price pumps 80% and the ecosystem goes up, because the ecosystems are, or they are largely made of micro caps. So do not FOMO, smash a like, and hear what I have to say about this Pokemon partnership. So what is this? So Pokemon has officially entered the realm of Web3 gaming with the introduction of digital souvenirs, which are NFTs integrated with the Sui blockchain. This move confirms earlier rumors about Pokemon's integration with the blockchain technology. The new feature in Pokemon Home allows players to collect medals as digital collectibles, which are linked to real-world Pokemon locations. Massive, massive stuff here. These medals can be traded with other players or gifted, enhancing the social aspect of the game. Integration to the crypto, of course, secure technology, fast. We know the reasons why Sui is a game-changing technology. In fact, I think also Aptos deserves a chance, but I'll talk about Aptos in a separate video and kind of mention that. But overall, this is going to be massive moving forward for the Sui blockchain. And of course, these digital collectibles will absolutely be a huge, huge hit. That is very clear to me. Okay. Now, it's even more exciting because it's coming to the Sui blockchain. Why do I say that? Sui is not like any other blockchain. All right. People must understand Sui is going to be something completely different by the year 2028. Why do I say that? As many blockchains die, okay, and we ultimately have a bear market at some point, Sui is the type of technology where everybody should be like, do I want a generational coin? Duh, of course you do. And the reasons why is because from gaming AI, okay, it is absolutely, and DeFi, it is completely, it's like the fastest chain you could absolutely build on top of. And there is that adoption happening. Now, a lot is going on with Sui this week in the Sui base camp. And this is where you don't need to FOMO, guys. You really don't need to FOMO. So I've already brought this to you several weeks ago. The Sui Foundation and Mr. Labs Dubai base camp. Okay, off the back of this week, of course, we have Token 24 here in Dubai, and then there's plenty of stuff that is happening. Plenty of important people from Mr. Labs and Sui and whoever. They're all in there. Okay, and of course, you've seen the ecosystem really go absolutely bananas. Walrus is going crazy. This is where, of course, a year of growth. Last year's inaugural event in Paris saw only, 1,100 attendees from 65 countries. Now, what they're looking for, obviously, now is a lot bigger in terms of their global exposure. And they've obviously, the X1, which, again, you know, we've done videos on, we've talked about the Sui X1 play. And then think about the Pokemon angle as well. This is a bullish chain, and do not FOMO. Like I said, there is a huge ton of absolutely crazy unlocks happening. Okay, now we all remember, of course, in 2 days' time, you know, by this week, Sui is going to unlock $318 million worth of tokens. Okay, which will raise the fully diluted market cap of Sui to $35 billion. Of course, Ronin and Camino, Optimism, Ina, Omni, there's plenty of unlocks happening, okay? VC cash grab all over the place. But the question is, what happened the last time Sui actually had a big unlock? It literally absorbed it. Now, could it be a coincidence that we get this massive news, At the same time, we were getting the unlocks. Of course, the base camp, very well done. It may just sniff that, in my opinion. It may just go, okay, yeah, you've got this many unlocks coming. Last time this happened, it didn't flinch, and that's a lot of people got burnt out because I remember clearly I told people these large blockchains have a way of smothering these tokens. They don't just flood them into the to the contrary to your microcap, which is susceptible to a large token dump. For something like this, $300 million is nothing. You can actually sell that in a single transaction. All right. So you got to look at this. But why do I think it was important to make this video? Now that, of course, the announcement is pretty imminent. So sell the news, and the price has been pumping 80% for a week. So of course, we're not going to jump in and bid on the on Sui right now, right? That's stupid thing to do. And again, even in the ecosystem, as much as I believe there are projects that are undervalued, at the same time, you cannot just jump in and buy something when it is absolutely rocketing and going bananas. Okay. So what you got to do is you got to wait for the price to cool off. I mean, the weekly chart is quite scary. I have actually put buy alerts on Sui for $1.89. I've put buy alerts on $2. People could have doubled their money. But unfortunately, people just sometimes think, yeah, they can either get it cheaper or they've missed a boat. But that's okay. But what do we do right now? Well, you can clearly see that the thing is overheated, right? So if it's overheated, then I need to see some kind of a pullback. And in my opinion, that is likely to come very, very soon. Okay? Very soon. I mean, it will be a slight... nothing goes up forever. You know, the sun don't shine forever. But as long as it's here, we might as well shine together. And of course, better now than never. And business before pleasure. So look at this. If Sui was to pull back from its recent move, all right, I will be looking to bid around these levels. You know, anything around here. There's few levels that it can come back to. You know, this level is decent. Of course. This also level is decent. Now, no one's guaranteeing that this is the hottest asset in the game. But if we do have a natural pullback towards that $3 level, what is that going to do? That is going to give you the opportunity of a lifetime to once and for all go buy your favorite ecosystem play. Now, Lofi, you know, don't get it twisted. Lofi is at the thick of the action. Okay. Lofi is not the, you know, people say that, oh yeah, Lofi is, it's just a, yeah, of course it's a meme coin, but Lofi is very close to Mr. Labs. Why do I say that? Look at this. So they've got the base camp, right? And they've announced it. And of course there is Navi Protocol, there is Hippo, Suiland, Walrus, and Bad Boy Lofi right there. Okay, so, you know, understand, man, I've been screaming at the top of my lungs for you to buy Lofi at $6 million. Today's at $40 million, but they will retrace, right? So remember, crypto investors are like a mother. They obviously never recollect the pain of giving birth, okay? So what I would say is, on the back of all of that, this is the best time to farm the Sui ecosystem. And as always, make your short list. Do not FOMO, okay? Identify. First of all, people should identify what their crypto future looks like. What do I mean by that? Your crypto future is things that you can actually buy and hold while you get on with work, while you chill with family, while you build a generational bag. So contrary to what the market tells you on every single YouTube, like all these low cap gem bullshit, yeah, of course, that pumps to the moon, and I get that. But they're part of what I consider to be you build a generational bag, and with the Move programming language. And Aptos is super interesting. I'm going to do an Aptos video. Why? Because I think Aptos is under the radar, but pretty much the whales will rotate to it. So think like a whale. Will a whale come and find the micro cap coin that you've got, which has 1,000 holders, or will they kind of rotate into their big layer ones? Ultimately, micro caps do move, but holding quality in the long term is absolutely key. So if we continue with this ecosystem, we can see here, of course, Walrus is quite big. Deepbook has pumped. Cetus above 20 cents has pumped. We're buying this at 4 cents. And then, you've got Mui, meme coin here. You've got Bluefin here at $36 million. Of course, FDV, $11 million. $11 million, I do believe. No, actually, the market cap's actually up 30. That's incredible. 73% move for the week. For Blue Move, Sui Name Services, I'll skip that one. And then you got Lofi the Yeti here at 3 cents. Okay, so Lofi the Yeti here, 35 million market cap. Sui Lend, quite important. Of course, Navi Protocol, Sudeng at 26. So technically, Lofi has flipped everything except Mew, or whatever you call it, the cat. Maybe because of cat season. Anyway, then 15 million Scallop, I think that is, if you've obviously took my buy alert, now you've doubled your money on Scallop. Blub is literally kind of like, this was once the biggest Sui meme coin. At the moment, again, you got to keep your eyes and ears on it. Then you start to go into the lower, the lower ends of the market caps. Now, Blue Move, NFTs, Pokémon. This protocol is actually, just like Cetus, is a dual chain. Dual chain application, right? It is Sui and Aptos. So you can actually switch the chain between Sui and Aptos. Now, I'm not telling you to buy this because, first of all, NFTs are not in, a lot of people got burned with NFTs and, screw that. Now, you can do a subscription mint and whatever for the NFT side, and you have actually got a Launchpad here to go and simplify your yield farming in the Sui ecosystem, and you can actually go to the Launchpad and grab a collection. So could there be more utility here? Well, definitely. They could even have their own kind of, I think they already do, but at 4 million market cap, very low volume. TVL is 6 million. If these NFTs do come back, I do see this as a kind of a punt. Let's just put it that way. So there's one for you. I think the Turbos Finance is another one that hasn't moved. Okay, that has very, very low trading volume, and at some point, I think it's one of the more riskier ones, but something to keep remembering. Now, in addition to that, guys, if you keep looking through the Sui ecosystem, again, once upon a time, Tardy, right, which was heavily pushed by Carl Chassé, was a massive in terms of market cap. This was over $33 million. Now, in an irrational phase, could this shit return and do numbers? So when you buy, or when you wait for the impact of the Sui retrace, make a short list of what you want to buy, and then play with that. Of course, Sui Pad and a few others, but this is something to farm. Really. I mean, we've done really well with so far Bluefin. We've done really well with Scallop. We've done really well with, of course, Lofi. We've done really well with Sui itself. So this has been something that I've been farming now for the best part of like a year plus. So remember that. Now, of course, on the X1 side of things, Could they actually start bringing more games? Of course. What will happen with the partnership with Pokemon? Will it just be purely NFTs? Could the console have some kind of an impact? It's all there to be seen. But one thing I would say is, just like Base, right? Just like Base, this has something that is also, like, I would say Coinbase in general and Base. I've talked about this before in a separate video, right? But ZK login, as you already know, like, when sometimes, people hold Tangent and they're like, oh, we can't put my Sui on Tangent, mate. What's going on? No, something better. Okay. If you look at this, instant onboarding for your app. Okay. And the benefits to the custody. Now, this makes ZK login makes engaging with these dApps built on Sui as simple as basically having your web credentials, like those used for Google and Facebook. Okay, ZK login application developers can choose to use invisible wallets where interacting with the chain is fully abstracted from the user, or simply it offers a way for users to access their on-chain assets. Now, this is important because this is the reason why, and then of course they go through the whole user journey here. User, open the app, the private keys. You don't have to so much stress about that. And this is where, when I talk about having the ZK login, okay, in the future, I think this is going to be where mass onboarding is going to happen. So if you really, really believe that, when I say a generational coin or multi-cycle coin, even if you feel like you've missed it this cycle, believe me, this will be more prominent as we move forward. Of course, next cycle, it will have better circulating and tokenomics with dilution. That is now going to be less impactful. Of course, the prices will crash across all crypto. Don't believe in anything else. But ultimately, it's a piece of technology, I think, that we can say in the next 5 years that, oh yeah, I got into Sui back in 2024, 2025, 2023, whenever you got into it. All right. But anyway, Pokemon, super bullish. Look through this chain. Of course, right now it's running too big. So this is not a buy the layer one. This is watch the ecosystem. I hope you found this video helpful. If you do, please give me a like and put some comments on there as well. God bless. Take care, guys.